The devastation down here is unbelievable.
It was coming in so fast.
The back door just crashed open, threw everything around like it was they were bathtub toys.
There's so many people who are hurting right now.
The demand is overwhelming.
Hurricane Sandy slammed ashore of the northeastern seaboard communities of New York and New Jersey on Monday night, October 29, 2012. Severely crippling one of the most densely populated regions of North America and sending a shockwave of impact to nearly half of the United States as it skirted from the Caribbean to the North Atlantic.
Everybody's furnace, everybody's water heater, and everybody's breaker box was under salt water.
The residential communities of Staten Island and the Belle Harbor neighborhood of the Rockaway Peninsula were entirely flooded by a rushing storm surge of ocean water.
Every single house in the neighborhood was affected.
These are communities where many of New York's firefighters, police, and school teachers live and raise their families. But because of their own professional responsibilities, many were not able to look back and start the strenuous work of recovering their own homes. It was at this point that Helping Hands and other community-minded volunteers pulled together.
A lot of work to be done.
Yeah, there is.
We really appreciate you teaming with us.
There is.
I've never seen so many people come, jump out of buses, get ready to go, get the buckets, and get out and start helping people that need the help.
So one of the groups that's formed, come right here.
They call the missionaries their little yellow army of happiness because we're bringing joy.
Next group, a group of 10, come on over.
Under the coordinating efforts of New York Mission President Kevin Calderwood, hundreds of Latter-day Saint young men and women serving missions in the area locked arms with local members and set out in their yellow Helping Hands vests to help New Yorkers recover their homes.
Everyone's just been so, I think, surprised of just like, who are these people and where are they coming from? And like, just, it's been fantastic.
The whole neighborhood's talking about them.
No project is too much to ask.
Doing anything you ask them to do, they're willing to do. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I've never seen anything like it, to be honest with you.
It's a messy, relentless measure of work by any standard, and the yellow vests and shirts don't remain that color for very long. But before the first sleeve gets rolled up, or house cleared out, or neighbor cheered up, you gotta know where to find them.
They all are calling with very much a sense of urgency. So you need that cut up and taken down. Okay. Sure.
Latter-day Saint meeting houses like this one in Emerson, New Jersey, were set up after Hurricane Sandy to gather tools and supplies to the hardest hit areas. And they also serve as a command and call center for people to request help from church volunteers like Rena Meyer.
You're on the list to get some help. I love this church, and I love that we do this and that we're able to do something, because you feel very helpless. So it's the least I can do.
The workload is a looming, expansive challenge for the volunteers, which means Sunday, on this particular weekend after the storm, the traditional Latter-day Saint service will be a little bit different for church-going Mormons in and around New York.
The most important part of the meeting we will have where we partake of the sacrament, where we renew our covenants, but the other parts where we have speakers and we talk about Christ-like principles and things that we need to be doing to help people and help ourselves grow, we can do by putting it into action. So we think it's more important to go into action and do those things that need to be done instead of talk about it.
So off they went after an abbreviated worship service, fanning out to more neighborhoods on Staten Island with a prayer in their hearts and hands to lift up.
The energy was awesome. I tell you, when I first started, I was down to tears today. When I first, when I saw 20 people in the room helping out and cleaning up was just great. And then I found out afterwards that they were all from all over the city, all over the country, missionaries. And I thought it was just amazing, man. Amazing, moving.
The individual stories of lives lifted are unique. People like Joan Carboni, whose husband passed away just weeks before the hurricane, trying to care for her elderly father-in-law. Or Tom Murphy, a retired school teacher who nearly lost his family photo album in a pile of wet debris. Or Ted Zimmer, who was so busy working as a medical professional seeing patients in need to even think about coming home. And Carrie O'Connor, who came home to save her father's sentimental belongings and picked up the good neighbor spirit in the air. And in the process, was given something by a church volunteer that may one day prove to be of sentimental value itself.
They gave you a little present. What was it?
They did. They gave me a Choose the Right ring. And I just want you to have this. It's just like a token because you're doing such a wonderful job of helping your neighbors, and like that's what's really important to us. And it was just so sweet.
The work of recovery in the American Northeast is ongoing, but even in hardship, there are moments you just don't want to forget.
Well, last week we took a picture after working here, and they cheered. It was a standing ovation on both sides of the street, thanking the missionaries for what they were doing. It's a marvelous opportunity to bless and help our fellow man.